Do you want to make stunning reports like this? Well, stay tuned for the top 5 tips and learn today. Let's start with data viz, data visualization. Now, I've been working as a data analyst for a number of years now. Visualization is always important to grab the attention and convey the message to your stakeholders. Let's start here. I've got a very simple data set, a couple of names, and a few ages to go along with it. Now, if I was to select that and use the default recommended chart, we'd get something like this. It's not great. We can make it better. What if I could tell you that in a few simple clicks, it can go from this to that? There's a few things we've changed here. We've changed the order of the bars, the title, the colour, the bar shape, and even the labels. Now immediately this is more enticing to me. It's something that makes a lot more sense. I can see Janet has the highest age, Toby has the lowest, alongside Rachel. What I did here is create this as a table. Once that was done, I used the filters to change the order to ascending. Already looking better. I then changed the title, changing the boldness, the size and the colouring. I then added data labels by right-clicking on one of the bars. Fantastic. You can even change the colour of these. Now if I click on it initially, I'll make them all the same colour. If I click into one particularly, say here the highest age, then we can change the colour of just that bar. You'll note, however, that down here, ever so subtly, this is a bit curved. How have I done that? What you can do is use a shape. Let me customize the shape. And then copy it and paste it by applying the same steps. Clicking in and then pasting. If I want one to be a different colour or a different shape to the rest, I would edit this and then copy it in, again by double clicking. This doesn't look great. This is the occurrence of names. I'm not really seeing much, I have to match them up down here, and it's really hard to see who is who. I could make it something more like this. Now that is a lot easier to see. I know the top 3 names, what percentage they occupy, using their labels, and I've labelled everything that is below 5%. I use percentages rather than just the categories here, and I changed the colours as well. Again, all of that just by clicking in and changing particular slices, right-clicking and adding data labels. It's a very quick and easy change, but you can see how much better this really looks. From this to that. Substantially better. Always consider the chart type though. This is just the default chart, a bar chart, and it might actually be easier to read. A lot of people don't like pie charts, or donut charts for that matter. They think they are quite difficult to read. So just bear that in mind. Pick the appropriate chart for your audience. Next, we'll go on to conditional formatting. This is another very simple step. You can see here that what I've done is I've got some names, I selected the values, went to conditional formatting in the home tab, and I applied some data bars. Now I could change the colour or even the fill, but essentially it remains the same. Here I did a gradient via a colour scale, and now this makes it very easy to see which numbers are anomalies and in what order they develop. See here. With this one I use something very useful that's good for spotting errors in your data set, but can also highlight key areas in your report. Just selecting it and going back to conditional formatting, I can highlight cells with duplicate values. This can be very important to note. Say you had duplicate unique identifiers, that might suggest there's a problem. And here I did a conditional rule. I selected all the ages again. However, this time I highlighted cells that were less than 30. Here we could do less than 60. And really simply, we've made this data a lot more engaging and easy to read quickly for your stakeholders and audience, whoever that may be, in a matter of clicks. Colour. This stands out, very impactful. With the off-grey background, it means it's very easy to read. With the white box then, or charts or whatever you want to show, being that it's white, it pops out. This top banner distinguishes the title and the author very easily. It really changes the look of your report from a number of cells like this to this. How did I do that? Very easily. You'll note I've changed the colour of all cells here. And in doing so, that's got rid of the grid lines. Select everything, change to off-white like that. And you can see the process I would do here. This isn't a particularly appealing colour scheme, and I wanted to show you that it is important. Now, how do you pick a colour scheme that looks good? You might want to do brand colours that match what your organisation is structured to. Or you can go to a colour scale matcher online. Next, I wanted to go over some formulas. The top 3 that I use almost every day in my role as a data analyst. VLOOKUP is one that's very crucial. Say we have 2 tables. You'll see this is in a different order. Now what I don't want to do is go through, find Ava in here, link it up to Ava there, and then write in the age. In this example, it didn't take long. But imagine hundreds of names, thousands. What if you had multiple spreadsheets across multiple reports, all with different names, and you needed to link it up? To do that, you do a VLOOKUP. Now, I've done a video before in my Excel series about how to do these formulas more in depth. So I'll just cover it very lightly here with equals, which is how you always start a formula. Ava, comma, I'm looking in this range. In the second column, 1, 2. And I want an exact match, so I'll type false. Drag that down or double click. And here we immediately have all the names linked up. Now there is an error. Why did it not find it correctly for Toby? For Jack, it knew he was 76. You'll see the range has dragged down. And that is the next thing that's very important to make sure you're locking your cells. You can do that with F4. Next is aggregates such as sum. We can do that here. Or min or max to get an initial understanding of your data. Concatenate is equally important. Often columns will have data that's similar, but in different columns. Let me show you. If someone's name was Toby Digest, but I wanted their full name, I could use concatenate, comma, here. And now we have their full name as one cell. If I wanted a space in between, I would just put comma and a space in between quotations. And done. And of course you could drag this down. One thing I will tell you that it's always important to copy the values and turn them into values rather than formulas. That way you won't have any mess ups. Let me show you. If something gets deleted here, it'll mess up there. I don't want that. So I'm going to copy all of these, copy and paste as a value. Now when I mess anything up here, it does not carry over. Finally, pivot tables. I have some student college data here. Everything from student ID to student name, age and course. This is a lot of data. And what if I want to summarize it very quickly without typing out a lot of formulas? Well, let's select all the data with Control A or just dragging across. On a Mac, that'll be Command A. Insert a pivot table. And I want to put this in existing worksheet, this worksheet. Let's do a count of student ID by age. So I can see there are 323 students. That's not right. That's adding up all the student IDs. I want to count and not a sum. Done. There's 25 different students and I can see that's right. What about by age? Interesting. What about by course? Now I can start to see which courses are more popular. I could even break it down into the different columns by age and filter for people just called Toby. And now within a matter of seconds and clicks, we've got all the data we need. Again, I have videos on all of this completely in depth. This is just an initial 5 quick tips and tricks that Excel pros use to make stunning reports. Now all the best and good luck.